You're up.
Okay, welcome.
There's nothing in the background.
You have to click the image with us.
Oh.
Okay.
Technical difficulties, hang on.
You got us there now?
Yes, but yep.
All right. So we don't have a green screen behind us. Our engineer
Okay, there
got
we
a
go.
little bit late today because
There
of a
we
trip
go.
to Chick-fil-A, but
No, my daughter had a dentist appointment.
all right, go.
Okay, once again, take two. Slap. Welcome to Joe Knows with Ken Rose.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ken. You know, I gotta say, I really like coming here. I do. I was a little grumpy earlier because of some stuff that went on. And Ken and I solved some problems of the world, at least identified the problem. And so I'm really having a good time, although I'm a little hangry today. I didn't plan properly. You know, the problem with Joe getting hangry and missing breakfast is then I have these 17 cups of coffee I drink trying to make up for hungry. And
We
it
have
never
some
works.
protein bars here if you need one.
I'm on
okay.
cup 2, so I'm already getting a wire.
Yeah. Cup 2.
Yeah, I know, it is a big cup.
Cup 2, I think my wife pours 2 cups of coffee in my mouth while I'm still asleep. That keeps me going. And of course, I did Cup of Joe this morning from Just Love. So I got to start the day out with, and it's Irish Coffee Day, National Irish Coffee Day.
Really?
Yeah. Now, Just Love doesn't
Excuse
have
us,
any
we're up to
whiskey.
ABC.
Yeah. They didn't have any whiskey, but you know, they have some Irish cream flavorings, and they have an Irish coffee that they do that's alcohol free. So
Wow.
I got my jacked up large latte today.
Well, you know what? Speaking of Irish coffee, the other night I was making hot chocolate because it was cold the other night.
Oh,
in
yeah.
town.
Yeah.
So I had my hot chocolate, and then Lisa buys the extra creamy whipped cream, and then I was like, "What flavor goes best with chocolate?" Well, peanut butter. So I did peanut butter whiskey in my hot chocolate. Man, it was a dream come true.
I'll
He sits
bet.
down and he goes, "Ooh, this might be a thing."
I can imagine the first sip. Ah.
Yeah, exactly.
Now my wife likes hot chocolate. And of course, I can't handle hot chocolate, especially at night, because it's too much sugar, man.
Well,
It's
yeah.
sugar messes with me these days.
So good, though.
And she takes this. You know what fluff is, right? Fluff. and
Oh,
butter?
of course.
So in our family, we don't use marshmallows. We use a big dollop of fluff and butter. And I'm sure my mother used to use a teaspoon. We don't. We use a tablespoon, and we get that scoop. I mean, it's like
That's
that
why
tall.
it's too much sugar.
Yeah, well, even without that, it's too much sugar. And she's sucking it down, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm jealous or afraid.
And actually, our whipped cream that we have at home is light.
A light.
Like,
Well,
Less calories.
the fluff, there was a song like "Have Another Fluffer Nutter Peanut Butter Sandwich," something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was.
That sounds good.
It's really good though. It's delicious.
really gross.
Yeah.
Have you never had a fluffer nutter?
No.
You are just.
Oh my gosh, your education, your parents should be ashamed of themselves.
I have not.
Please tell me you've seen The Godfather.
No.
That's your husband's fault. Okay?
Well, there we go. So we'll have to do the trilogy on a miserable day.
You know, we're going to have to do one day, we're going to have to do what I feel. I've done this with my children. They don't necessarily agree with me, but I feel there are certain movies that you should have seen if you achieve the age of 40.
Right, I
By
agree
the
with
time
that.
you get to the age of, if you're 20, I can understand you not seeing a movie like Citizen Kane or,
Right.
and my kids, I don't want to see an old movie because it's in black and white. Well, okay, yes, that's back when they actually wrote movies.
Right.
You
Sure,
know, they had
sure.
a script with a story. It wasn't all about the explosions, right?
But in high school we had like To Kill a Mockingbird. We had a watch.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Mhm.
You know,
So,
and of course, your appreciation for that can be much better as you get older.
of
Right?
course.
So, and of course, some people today, I have this discussion with my children who are all millennials, is I hate when the modern people put, the modern culture tries to put today's cultural expectations on movies that were created in the 40s. Can't you just watch and enjoy the movie? I understand they didn't treat women the way we treat women today. That the expectations of only wife and mother was something of the 40s. Can't you just appreciate that's how it was then and
I
enjoy
would.
the story?
Come home to a fresh cooked meal,
Yeah.
my slippers, and
Yeah.
a recliner
Yeah.
and the newspaper.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
it's
kinda like-
always nice to dream.
You know, it's funny. People say the good old days, and I love to remind people, the good old days weren't necessarily all that good. It's all a perception thing,
Perception.
right?
Oh yeah.
It's all perception. When you talk about how good it was in the 70s, I remember sitting in a car with my mother for 3 hours waiting in a gas line. And she literally ran out of gas and had to be pushed up to the pump to get our day of gas.
That's nothing. I spent 16 years driving around with my mother in a smoke-filled car. So
Yes.
I've got secondhand
Same.
smoke so bad with the
Same.
windows up in the middle of the winter and mom's lighting up a cigarette.
You're trying to breathe through your shirt.
Oh, it was
You know.
brutal.
Good old days, right? You used to be
Good
able to go
old
into a
days,
restaurant and smoke a cigarette without ever
Of
lighting
course.
up.
Of course. Nasty. Anyway.
All right, anyways.
Hey, we thought we'd play a game with you, Joe.
Okay.
And we're broadcasting from a special place.
All right.
So you're gonna have to guess where we're broadcasting
Okay,
from.
hang on,
Lisa
let me get
Lisa
another-
knows because it's on the screen behind us. So
All right, I just had another sip of Go Juice, so
so I'm gonna give you the first clue.
okay.
Part of it is orange.
Part of it is orange.
What's the next clue, Lisa? Because we can do this pretty quick.
Yeah, give me 3 to start.
It's very tall.
It's very tall. Citrus Tower?
Hey!
Yay!
We're broadcasting from the Citrus Tower today.
Only
Hey.
2 clues.
2 clues.
Are we actually in the Citrus Tower or is it behind us?
No, we're in
It's-
front of it. We're
We're
hovering.
in front,
We're,
we're
we are
hovering.
hovering in our hovercraft. So if you see Joe and I moving,
If you
a
do
little-
this, you're touching the very top of it.
Okay, where am I at the
Well,
top?
you're above
I
it
think
now.
it's between us.
There we go. There
It's
we go.
between you.
Oh, it's between us? Okay.
There you go. Right
we
there.
go. I always loved those pictures,
So here we're from the Citrus Tower, and I believe it's a beautiful sunny day. Is it not, Lisa?
Yes.
It's beautiful.
This is the beauty of podcast land.
Absolutely.
We can have whatever we want. We joked last week. We should be careful. We joked last week we were in front of the Arctic
Correct.
thing, and then
Oh,
it got
yeah.
cold.
Penguin showed up.
You know what we should do next week? We should have just money behind us. Just,
Oh,
just
well,
a bunch of
there you
money
go.
behind.
that's it. Maybe you and I in a vault.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Well, of
You know
course,
what the
there could be a
picture-
downside to that if the door gets closed.
We'll sit in front of the vault.
That's right.
The
What-
picture behind you is making your speech a little delayed.
Is it? Oh yeah,
it's
we're
kind of like
we're
a little off.
we're high
That's all
tech,
right.
but yeah. Anyway, if you're listening on radio,
I'm glad
You're
you
spot
added
on.
tech to that.
yes. Ugh.
That'd be the wrong time for the mic to cut out.
But if you're on audio, there is no lag in time because you can't
That's
see
right.
our lips move.
That's right.
So we're kind of like ventriloquists
How bad is the lag?
or an old Godzilla movie.
Is it like 3 seconds or?
yeah,
I mean,
it's a
okay.
couple seconds.
It's a couple seconds.
That's
Good.
all right.
It's it's not horrible, but
What do we got going this week, Joe?
Okay, let me see. This week, I need the glasses back on.
I could put it back on the green background if you want.
Here we go.
No, because
No.
But then it's not cool.
then it's not cool.
We'll live
Well,
with it.
because then it's still a green screen that we're rolling with,
Right.
or I guess it would just be green.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is a problem we'll have to solve some other time.
some other time.
I solve most of my problems that way. Some other time. When I absolutely have to. Kind of like going to the restroom. Does anybody go to the restroom just because they know they need to? No.
Oh, I
If they're
do.
going to
No.
need to?
Oh, I do. If,
No.
if I'm planning to go somewhere,
You preventatively
I need to go ahead
to
and-
I can't do that. I gotta wait till I gotta go.
no.
Till my body says, go now!
No, yeah,
I go before we leave for a trip or something like that. Like
I just like to go. I mean, I find it very peaceful. Nobody bothers
I guess
me.
you call it
I mean,
pre-pee.
well, like raising 4 kids. You want to go to the bathroom, you can relax.
You know,
get
it's
something
funny
to
you
read.
say that. If I were to
You
be
know.
honest, there were times that I said Dad had to go to the bathroom.
Of course.
And I just went in there and sat and read
Peace
my
and
book.
quiet, man. Peace and quiet.
Leave me alone for 10 minutes. Of course, as dad, dads have the reputation of being smelly, so they get away from that side of the house.
course. Clear out the house.
Uh-oh, Dad's going.
And Dad's relaxing. Because Lisa will say, "You were in there a long time. Is everything okay?" Yeah, I was reading an article in
Yeah.
my men's journal. about whatever it was.
I actually used to call that the throne of knowledge.
But
I
it
keep
is.
books in there, to reference, right?
Unless you're in a bookstore like Seinfeld.
That's
when George brought the book in, and then they made him buy it because it was contaminated
yes.
or something.
Isn't it also called the porcelain god or something?
Well, that's when
You're sick.
vomiting.
That's
I
right.
believe.
That's
or sleeping next to it.
that's after a night of drinking.
Not that I would
too
know.
much. That's
Not
what
that I would
that
know.
Oh no, not at all.
Praying to the porcelain. I have prayed to the porcelain god.
Oh, I'll never do this again.
When I was young and pre-Jesus. Yeah, I was never going to do it again until the next time I did it.
I said that after my first marriage. I'll
Yeah.
never do this again. Anyway, where are we going today? We don't even know where we're going.
Yes, that's a road we won't go down. How about the marketing minute?
The marketing minute. Okay. All right. Today's marketing minute sponsored by Minuteman Press. The most important thing you can do in business when you're out in public is always tell people who you are and what you do. Be proud of what you do. Be proud of who you are. If you're going to an event, have a name tag on. If not a name tag, have a shirt with your logo on it. Have something that people can recognize who you are, because many times when we meet people outside of their element or outside of our element, we don't know who they are. And it's like, I know that person, but where did I meet him before? And there was an incident at Bella Collina. I had grabbed a beer at the counter, and there was this young guy there with a beard, and I'm looking at him like, I know who he is, but he doesn't have a name tag on. And then I went to him later on that, and I said, aren't you Matt from Crooked Spoon? He goes, yeah, that's me. Oh, okay, now I know who you are. So, that's my marketing minute. Tell people who you are, what you do, and be proud, and, wear your logo shirt or your name badge and get recognized. That's the purpose of being in business, is to get recognized.
It's really funny that, I'm in a tie a lot. People know me for my American flag ties. This is my red shirt brand. And it is not uncommon, because I wear it in most of my videos. I'm wearing a red shirt.
Yes.
For me to be out in a t-shirt or just a blue, if I've got like a blue shirt and a black tie on, people are like, I know you from somewhere. Yeah, I'm Joe,
But at least they know you with your clothes on.
That's right.
I didn't recognize you with your clothes on. That's
Yes.
a problem,
Well, I'm not going down.
So what is the marketing minute for real
Okay.
estate?
The marketing minute for real estate. I got 2 pieces of advice. I don't think I said this last week, although it's on my sheet, because I think I got off into something else. Look, if you're getting your house ready to sell, spend the money on having the bathroom and the kitchen professionally cleaned.
I would agree with that.
A bathroom and a kitchen. Look, here's the truth. Women buy houses, men finance them. That's not a sexist thing. That's just statistical. That women, when you're showing a house to a couple, women tend to be the one that pick it, because they're the nesters. Okay. And actually,
Yeah, happy wife, happy life.
happy wife, happy life.
The guy's like, you want this one, dear? Okay.
Now there are some exceptions to that rule, but even in the case where the wife may be financing the house, is generally the man dotting those I's and crossing those T's.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's picking the mortgage company and he's getting all the paperwork and stuff. So it doesn't necessarily mean somebody makes more money than somebody else.
Correct.
It's just that it tends to be the person in the woman's role picks the house. And what that means is when they walk in the kitchen, you don't want them to go, you think you've cleaned your kitchen, but people will do things like move a container or look behind, a toaster, right? They want to see where the
dirt
where the
is.
plugs are.
Oh, well, yeah.
Or they open up the fridge, right? Yeah, how many times you've been showing a house, somebody opens the fridge and you go,
I don't
oh
want
my
people
God.
opening my fridge.
That's right.
There's just like all kinds of paraphernalia in there.
Bathrooms are the same way.
I agree.
Because a lot of times, and I always tell people, do not, especially people who are going to have an empty house, do not shut off the water.
Correct.
Because somebody may need to use it and you want to provide. Now, as a realtor, I always actually carry paper towels and toilet paper with me in
That's a good
case
idea.
I'm in a house that somebody needs to use a restroom and they don't have any. Wait a minute, let me go get it.
Well, the only other thing that I could add to that is when you're showing, before you show your house, put in high-powered light bulbs
We talked about
right
this,
in the
yes.
damn property.
Yeah.
So many times you or even you go in the entrance and the light fixture up in where the hell it is, in the eaves
Yeah.
or whatever, is full of bugs and dirt, and the light's not working, and it's rusted, and
It might be what ours looks
Especially-
like. Ours looks like that right now.
or your
but we're
mailbox
not-
is knocked over halfway.
But we're not
Especially in
selling.
the winter, because it's if you're looking at houses after 5 o'clock, it's starting to get dark, and those outside lights are going to show up,
Of course.
right? Because of course I still laugh at pictures. I'm always amazed at the guy that's you cannot tell it. If you're going to use a realtor, please pick the guy that's willing to spend the money on professional pictures.
Right.
Okay, we talked
Or
a little bit
girl.
about this. Or girl.
Or girl.
I mean, the one. The realtor who will spend money. I can always tell a listing that many times I can tell why a listing's not selling just by looking at the pictures.
Oh, absolutely. They're
It's-
dark and gray.
They're dark and gray and twisted sideways. So obviously somebody was standing on his
Toilet
truck
seat up.
toilet seat up, or he was standing on his truck bed trying to get what looks like a drone picture on his cell phone.
Or if you see the realtor in the mirror as they're
Yeah, that's a good one. I love that. And you know what? They're never dressed professionally when you see that.
Right.
They're always in like jeans and a t-shirt. It's the baby daddy's, their hairdresser's baby daddy, got the lead or something.
Hey, what's your marketing minute?
What's my marketing minute?
Well, last Friday I hosted the Chamber Breakfast, the South Lake Chamber of Commerce. I was a co-host actually, but it was a very good experience. I was nervous as heck, as you know, but I got up and did it, and what would be I hate when you put me on the spot like this.
Wouldn't that be the minute? The importance
Yes,
of talking to people about who you are and what you do.
Join your local chamber, any other business leader type groups. Get up and talk about what you do.
All right, this is what we're going to do. From now on, you're going to do the marketing minute. You're going to do the branding minute.
All right.
Branding minute,
Oh.
Okay? Because you own Brand Squad.
That's
Correct.
right.
All right?
You see it behind me.
Let me say that for a first time, Lisa did wonderful. She
All
was
right.
a little soft because she's not good at speaking
Yeah,
in
he
front of
told me to
people
speak up more.
yet. But that comes with experience, right? And always those microphones are not always the best.
Yeah.
So you need to have a little more power. But I'll tell you, how many of those mugs did you pass out?
There was probably 150,
How many
160,
people else, right?
however many people were there.
What'd you take home?
room.
12? 15?
yeah,
you took one
15.
box?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we took about 15 home, and most of those were from empty place settings.
And my wife, who was out of town, came back home this weekend. I'm so happy to have my baby back home.
Aw.
Anyways, that's another story. But she was looking. I had it on the counter. I'd used it for coffee that morning.
All right.
It was actually a happy action. I normally bring my cup, and I got there and I was like, "Dang, I didn't bring my cup." And the Brand Squad mug was there. Yeah, I was going to say, grab
I'm
it.
gonna grab one.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
showtime.
Yeah.
Oh, here.
There we go. So I have this on the counter. I've just cleaned it because I used it that morning. And it's absolutely wonderful. It came stuffed. It's got some coffee in here. It's got a card. Is that Ken's card? You got Lisa's card
Lisa's
in there
card's
too?
in
Ken and
there.
Lisa's
Pen.
card is in there. There was a coupon for Bagel Brothers. Thanks. And there's something else in there. I don't know
Probably
what it is. Oh,
instructions
that's
on
the
how to use or
instructions on how
wash
to
the
use
cup,
the
I
mug.
guess.
But here's the cool thing about this. I washed this, and a lot of times you get the problem with these is you'll put them under the water, and then you'll have all that water in the bottom.
Right.
And this is sealed real nice. It doesn't screw off. And
It's a beautiful cup.
I mean, I'm sure if you dropped it 16 times, you'd
Well.
probably. But it is a beautiful cup. She's got the Brand Squad logo. But my wife picked it up and went, "Oh, she really liked that." It
I got a
seals
lot of
well.
compliments on that cup.
Yeah.
We'll have to give you an extra one to take home today
So-
to your bride.
You can take that one to her.
I'm pretty sure she doesn't want another one. I said,
Oh.
"But it's a
Oh, okay.
tumbler," and she's like, "Yeah, I just didn't recognize that one." Of course, we live in a small place, so
Right.
the last time
Ah.
we downsized, because you're a realtor, you get these everywhere.
Oh, everywhere.
Yes.
I mean, title
yes.
companies, mortgage companies. You
Not
go to
with free
something
breakfast though.
not with
or
free
coffee.
breakfast.
I have a roofing company cup that I had for probably
Use it all the
3
time.
years, and I love it. It
Up
has
until
that
now.
same color, and now I have my own cup that I can use.
I would have one suggestion on this. a lighter color in the background.
That's
Would've
what,
made you
that's
stand
what we
out.
thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But it ended up
So-
coming in darker. But it's okay.
Well, it's kind of mysterious, and you know what it does? It forces you to look at it.
Yeah. Well, here's
You're
the
like,
thing.
what is this?
Ah,
That's
this is
also,
true.
I will admit, this is the old guy perspective,
Right.
right? Because there was a day that would have popped out at me.
Right,
and
sure.
It just,
Yeah,
you know,
bad vision.
it doesn't
You're old.
anymore. You know, I'm old. All right. And marketing minutes out of the way. Let me see.
So that would be my marketing minute. Everywhere you go, carry a brand with you, whether it's in a cup or business card, name tag,
Good point. Good point.
right?
You know who I always felt did a good job of branding, and it was kind of in a weird way, was Mark's Floors. When he had a representative at the chamber,
Mm-hmm.
he used to have a representative at the chamber, and every month
He'd give her away.
at the he'd give away a rug, and it was so in his wheelhouse. It said what he did. It didn't say only the outside package, obviously said
Right.
Mark's Floors, but it had value. I'm sure it didn't cost him what the value was because
Right.
he's Mark's Floors, he's buying it. But people used to want. They'd save it for last.
Right.
People would want to
Get that area rug.
to get that area rug.
beautiful.
Yeah,
It
nice.
was good. And I mean, an area rug will cost you can get one, I don't know, $20-$30. So it's not
Depending on the size. Some of
depending
them
on
are
the size.
a good
And he
$80.
used to have a good one, pass out a good quality one. But it was costing one a month. Maybe his cost was $40 or $50, but one
Well,
a
that's-
month. And
I mean, that's a good point. Always give away something that represents your brand. Next month, Joe's giving away a home because he represents real
Yes.
estate. So we'll be giving
Ah.
away
Giving
a
away
4-bedroom, 5-bath home with a horse stable and
With a,
30 acres.
with a Maserati in the garage.
Oh,
Or
nice.
his and hers.
It's only going to be this tall, so
But it's going to be nice.
it's going to be nice.
Matching
Nice.
Harleys as well.
That's right. You're
But yeah.
going to need tweezers and a magnifying glass to move the furniture.
But that's a good point. A lot of times we all go to events and people always get a gift card. And for my business to give away a gift card from a restaurant serves me zero purpose. It promotes me zero, other than the moment they open the envelope and say, "Oh, I got this from so and so." Give away something to represent your brand.
Which is tough for a realtor.
Not really, because you could do a stress ball in the shape of a home with your information on it.
I'm going to look at getting
You
some of
could
those
give
made.
letter openers in
Little
the
foamy
shape of
houses.
in the shape of a house. I mean, you could do a lot.
Actually, I have a thing that okay, Remax, if you're watching, I'm going to say this now. If you're watching Remax brand, they have they give away to realtors these stress balls that are the Remax balloon,
Sure.
Yeah.
but there's no way for me to put my name on it.
See, that's
And I would love to give those away
Ah.
with my name on it. And it should be somewhat inexpensive, I mean, they're made out of foam, but the biggest problem I usually have with buying stuff from Remax itself, from their approved suppliers, is cost.
well, cost and sometimes you can't personalize it.
Well, that's
Yeah,
the issue.
yeah.
I can't if I'm going
Right.
to spend $60 on a shirt, which I'm not going to do. I'm just not going
Right.
to spend $60 on a shirt. And I would love to sponsor, baseball teams and stuff like that.
Right.
But I mean, or even small teams, we could give away, like a I don't want to say IZOD. What's the word I'm looking for?
A polo?
A polo.
Right.
A polo shirt. It's. I'm not spending $60 times 10.
Right. Well, I mean, you have to everything within reason.
Yeah. So, but that's actually a good idea. It's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now maybe I'll sit down with my friends and think out something I can pass out that
That's
is
right.
branded and says something.
Well,
about
you can
what I
pass out
do.
today's good news, and
That's
and,
right.
and it's, not only is it Good News Day, but it's National. Hell's the day today? National.
It's actually we got 4 of them again.
Ooh.
Oh, boy.
We've got Plan for Vacation Day. It's a little early in the year for me to
Oh.
plan for vacation day. I'm kind of a last minute guy. I got the money. The time's coming up. Okay, where are we going to go? Boom. I don't want to put. My wife is.
We're 1 year in advance
We,
planner, aren't
we,
we?
we are booked for October already.
Oh my gosh, what are you doing?
Going back to the same place that we got married.
in Anna Maria.
We
Oh,
love
Same
Anna Maria
beach
Island.
house that we rented.
See, that's somewhat local. That's cool.
Mhm.
That's cool.
2 hours away.
That's romantic.
Every year we rent a big beach house,
Yeah.
and we invite quite a few of our friends,
Yeah.
and so that's we love doing that. It's great community. It's a lot of sharing. It's you know when you go with friends and everybody's got their own cabin on the ship. You have some people that go Lido deck, other people that go near at the belly, and it's hard to meet up in hotels. You could be rooms opposite end, but when you're sharing a house together, you cohabitate, and so you have a community breakfast, you have a community lunch.
You got to make sure you really like those people.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. And if not, there's always a lot of alcohol at the homes we go to.
I was
so.
actually part of a church once where the pastor and several of his deacons, who were all really good friends, did that,
Right.
and it did not turn out well.
Well, there's two ways to look at that. Now, because we don't vacation with family just because there's too much responsibility,
Right.
and too much. I've got to be on my best behavior. This is my wife's, sister.
Yeah, nobody wants to irritate. You got to walk on
with
eggshells.
friends,
Yeah,
everybody's there just to chill and have a good time.
Yeah.
So
that's a good idea.
yeah,
That's a good idea.
so we book in advance. You wait till the last second.
But I tend to wait to the last second. It's just the thing with my wife and I forever. She is the planner. She wants to plan every day of the vacation. She wants to have an itinerary. And it took us some years before I was finally able to say, sweetie pie, I'm on vacation. I do this all day long,
Put away the day
all
planner.
year long. What do I want to do today? I don't know. Heck, I don't know what I want to do for lunch. And since I just got up at 11, that's getting pretty important. What do I want to do today? I don't know. Maybe I want to. But we did that yesterday, and I enjoyed it.
I agree. Vacation can't be scheduled unless you're doing a specific tour at a certain time.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
We've actually come to a nice. Of course, we've been married.
meeting of the minds
It's a
now.
meeting of minds now. Let me see. We've been married 1986. That puts us at, what, 36 years? It'll be 36 years this summer.
36 years.
36 years. And, the cool part about it is we've come to this place where a couple of days we do whatever, and it is fun sometimes because that's stuff that I wouldn't normally do, right? That go out of your comfort zone and
Right.
do the itinerary stuff. And then she winds down and hangs out with me. And generally when we vacation, it's on the beach.
Right.
That's because we like the beach.
I agree. It's
yeah.
my happy place.
Yeah. Grew up in the mountains, or at least too close to mountains.
Right.
So,
I do love the mountains too.
Yeah. The beach, when I was a kid, the beach was always something rich people did.
Oh, we didn't have any money. We used to just go to the beach on our bicycles.
Yeah, but you were from here, weren't you?
No, I grew up on Long Island.
Oh, well, Long Island, you're still close to a beach.
Yeah.
It was
we
part
were
of your
super
system,
close. We would go to a place called Cedar Beach. It was a rocky
Oh,
beach.
I know where Cedar Beach is.
It's a rocky beach, but they had a great concession stand, and we could get there by bicycle, so it was great.
We, when I was a kid in high school, that was like one of the things you could take, once you could drive. Your parents sort of trusted you. Of course, you never told them where you were actually going. But, I can remember I had a 1976 LTD. Actually, it was my parents' car, but they let me use it, and we piled like 8 people
At
into
least.
that car. It was huge. 6 miles to the gallon.
Oh, I know. I had a 72 T-bird.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
could
so
put 30 people in
That's
there. if you
right.
had to.
That's right.
Stacked on top of each
I
other.
think actually at one point we got like 12 football players in there. And you know what the funny thing was back in those days? Police didn't pull you over.
Oh, hell no.
They just laughed at you as you drove by. Of course they knew you
Kids
were
hanging
kids.
out windows.
You
and
weren't
stuff.
getting in trouble. It was a small town.
Yeah, you're out driving
You're
around.
out driving
As long as you're not
around, right? But that was the big thing is, you could. Now you're 16, 17, and we're going to go to the beach for the day. Nobody tells their parents they're going to the beach.
speeding. Right.
Right.
And there's no way for them to track
'Cause we
you
were
on your phone.
Well,
You
yeah,
didn't have
not
a
in
damn
those
phone.
days,
They didn't even have a pager back then.
That's right. Where are you going to be? Oh, I'm going to be helping Jim out in the woods cut some. So we're not going to be near a phone. So,
Right.
and the girls, it's Catholic school, right? So the girls wouldn't tell their parents because they were going to wear the bathing suit they were not allowed to wear
Under there.
with the family.
Catholic schoolgirl habits, yes.
So, anyways, yeah.
Gotta
So
get
what
some
else
of those.
is it? It is also, well, we talked about it's Irish Coffee Day. It's Florida Day.
Every day's Florida Day in
It's
Florida,
Florida
except
Day.
yesterday and today.
Do you know something? I was actually shocked to find out that Florida used to be back in like the colonial days, it was East Florida and West Florida.
Interesting.
And West Florida was owned by the French, and East Florida was owned by the Spanish.
Really?
And it took the War of 1812 and the Louisiana Purchase to change that.
Wow.
I think I did hear that when I was in St. Augustine. They're
Yeah.
giving us a little bit of
And
I
it,
didn't
it
know
kind
that.
of
history about
combined.
that.
And then I can't remember. I saw it, but at some point it got combined, and it was combined under us. You know,
Wow.
it was when the French first gave it up. It was part of what is now the Panhandle. Was part of Mississippi.
Really?
So I never got the research to figure out how that little. How did they carve
How the
that
states got
out
their shapes or
Florida?
something?
Yeah,
Right.
I'm sure there's a story. There's a whole show about that, right? And let me see what else we got. Florida Day, Irish Coffee Day. It's opposite day.
Oh boy.
I don't even know what opposite day is.
Opposite day means we shouldn't be working, we should be home.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true.
Instead of coffee, I'll drink tea.
Yeah.
I guess, you know.
I didn't even want to. I didn't. By the time I figured out Florida, I didn't want to go down and figure out.
Yeah, opposite becomes too
That's
complex.
What is it? It could get me and you in trouble. That's what. We're kind of opposite anyway.
Yes. We're going against the grain
You
all
know,
the time.
what am I supposed to wear? A wig? You know, wear my underwear on the outside.
Yeah, no. I was frightened when you mentioned that although you wouldn't wear a Speedo, you were thinking of wearing a toga after hours. I was like, gosh, that's just going to crash and burn very. Obviously, you know, Joe's wife probably dresses him because if Joe had to dress himself, who the hell knows what he'd be wearing in
Do you know
public.
this is true? I have 3 colors of trousers. I have maybe 4 colors of shirts. I know which colors don't go with the other one. Like, for instance, I know that generally black does not go with black unless you're mourning.
Right.
So if I'm wearing a black shirt, I have to wear like gray or blue trousers.
Correct.
Today I got khakis on.
Khakis.
Speaking of red, where's that picture you took of Joe and I? We both have our red and black on.
It's on my phone somewhere.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's on my
we'll
phone
have to
somewhere.
bring that up. at
Yeah.
some point in time.
Pop that in.
Ken didn't get the email, obviously. That day.
didn't get the memo.
Didn't get the memo.
I get so many things on my mind all the time. And I have a very small mind, so it's like, gosh, it's always overloaded.
a very small
Uh,
mind. So what are you gonna do that's opposite about that? You know, you're
I'm
gonna
going to
enlarge your
expand my
mind.
mind.
You're gonna expand your
What is
mind?
that guy with the big head, the alien?
Megamind.
Megamind. And before that, who was the guy on? There was some guy. I can't remember his name. I don't even know. What's the matter now? Who's looking for us? Is it the police?
Oh, somebody asking if they can pick up their flyers or should they come back?
No, you can go greet them up front. It's for. Sorry, we're running a business here. This isn't just Ken and Joe hanging out goofing off all day, but we are actually running a business. So our engineer is going to go and take care of a client. I believe it's Montverde
Yes.
Academy,
I didn't pay.
and if you're facing all of our awards for success, all the way on the left, there's a small Minuteman box, and then a larger brown box. That's for Montverde Academy.
Okay. Are they already paid?
Already paid. Multitasking, Joe. We know all
The
about
real question is,
multitasking.
did they send that text after they drove away, or are they waiting?
Hopefully, well, again, it's important to learn to read.
That's right.
I don't care what else you do, but so we have a sign out front that says we are live from 10 to 11. If you are here to pick up an order, please call or text my cell number. So obviously, because it's Montverde Academy, they're educated. So they can read and follow simple directions. So while our engineer's taking care of that, we can move forward on our next segment. It's called, this is where Joe and I get to freestyle. But I did talk to Joe prior to the show because I've listened to so many people talk about their businesses or who they are or what they do at various events and business meetings and such. And very few things really jump out at me that I can sit back and think and say, wow, yeah, I got that. And Joe spoke about fruits and vegetables. And it's not what you think, but it is about fruits and vegetables. So really, I'm going to turn it over to Joe, and Joe's going to share with you fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
Was that a good leader?
Yes, it was a good
All
lead
right.
in. And I would like to say caveat emptor.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. No, that's buyer beware.
That's
No,
buyer
that's
beware.
a correct one.
I
Caveat.
guess so.
A caveat to this is we did not plan this well ahead of time. So
Right.
this is a talk that I've given before and something that I discovered on my own. While many of you, I like to think that people tell me they think of me as a community leader and things like that. And, you know, there was a time in my life when I wasn't. Okay. For those of you who are not deep into the Joe story, let's just say that I did suffer from an extreme addiction, you know, for many, many years. And I didn't get clean and sober until I was probably 45, a good 15 years ago. And by extreme, I mean $1,500 a day of crack cocaine for years on end. You know, and when I was using, I would use day after day after day. Was not the greatest husband. Was an awful. Actually, I was an awful husband. I was an awful father, and you know, there came a point in time, and of course, everything that went with it. I had health issues and criminal history, and I'm a convicted felon. And we'll save what I was convicted of for another day.
Right. Donuts.
Donuts. It's just suffice it to say is I was not a nice guy, and I supported my habit with, you know, by collecting money for drug dealers and bookies, and that led to a lot of trouble with the law. So I came to a place in my life where my wife, thankfully, did not just dump me, but did give me an ultimatum. And the ultimatum came down to I had to get clean and sober.
Mm-hmm.
So I went away to a place called Dumplin Memorial Camp. It's a very unique rehab, and you know, it was 10 months inpatient. They call it inpatient, but you live there. I lived there for 10 months. It wasn't one of these touchy-feely places where you go to therapy after breakfast in free time, you know, tennis. And you basically, you got up and you went to chow when they checked in on you. You went home and did chores, made your bed, cleaned your room. And you prayed. It was a Christian-based place. That's actually the place where I found a good part of the deepness and intimacy of the faith that I have now in the Lord. So I come out of that, and I connected with the 12-step community, because you do need a follow-up program. You know, there's no one-and-done fix when you have a life-controlling problem. You got to be aware of it. So one of the tenets of recovery is, if you're going to have a relationship with somebody, you got to do some things first. Now, I came out of rehab with 4 children who were teenagers and a wife. And let me tell you what, you want to question your recovery. Especially after all those years, teenagers will push your buttons if you're a good guy, you know. And they tested some boundaries. And so I got to the place where I'd been clean for a little while. And, you know, I'd been advising guys 12 Steps 101. So to have a relationship, if you're single when you get clean and sober, is you're supposed to be able to keep, they say before you're ready for a relationship, you got to learn how to take care of something other than yourself. So they want you to take care of a plant. First you get a plant. If you keep a plant alive for a year, you can get a fish. If you can keep a fish and a plant alive for a year, you can get a pet, a dog, a cat, a hamster. If you keep the plant, the fish, and the pet alive and thriving for a year. Now, this is 3 years of preparation. You might be ready to be in a relationship with a human being. Okay, well, so because I had moved back into a house with people who knew me as an extreme addict, you know, there were lessons that I had to learn very quickly, but it made sense for me to plant a plant. And so I planted a plant, you know, just because I wanted to. I'm not a do what I say. I figure that if I'm going to lead people in things, and at this point, I'm starting to teach other guys how to be clean and sober. And, you know, I started to hear a lot, well, you don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like. You're right, I don't. But I could take care of a plant.
I think we have a problem.
What's the problem? Are we disconnected?
I don't think we have any audio.
Do we have audio?
I don't know.
I don't know how to check it.
We're going to have to plug this in.
Are you?
Maybe the story will be for another day.
I don't know that we have audio.
Where does this go? What
It just goes right into a USB port. Take out that other USB port.
Oh no!
Oh,
Oh no!
oh crap.
We lost all today's viewers. All 3 of them. Okay. Okay, wait a minute. Hang on, this is hilarious. All right. Well, we have given you 40 minutes of absolute silence.
Oh no.
All right, wait a minute. That's the next thing on the checklist. Make sure the microphones are plugged in.
Oh.
Okay.
I see his face, and he's like, his face just drops. He's like, we have a problem.
Okay.
How do I know to check it on here?
For
it's
those
gotta
of
be-
you for those of you who have been laughing at us for 40 minutes, and
Oh
for those
my
of you who may have
God.
just joined us, we realized we just plugged in our sound. We have done 40 minutes of a
Oh
show
my God.
with no sound. No blame to be associated because there is 3 of us.
Although we may have had sound from the microphone in the computer, but it's
We
all the
may
way over
have.
there, so
we may
We
have.
won't know
So
unless
they
we,
don't even
till we go
bring
back
it
and
up.
check.
We won't know until later. At any rate.
So
So should I finish the story?
no,
or tell
no,
it
no.
some other time?
We'll cover that another time because I
Okay.
think that we've really combusted here because of my. What happens is Joe and I get into conversation before the show, and I lose track of what the hell I'm doing because we get so engaged in each other's thought process, and so it's kind of like, sorry, shit happens.
Okay. Long story short, we really enjoy working together.
Yes, yes. And Joe will remind me next time that we're all plugged in.
That's right. We need a checklist. That's
Yes.
what we need to do. We need to have a checklist. We started with this.
We need
Okay,
to
we
eat
get-
something
we have a
more.
We
full-
also
format
need
for one
someone
week.
who's watching live, like my mom,
Right.
to let me know.
To say there's no sound.
Hey, there's no sound.
There's no
I
sound.
wonder if Patty tried to tell me. Hang on.
Hopefully, if you read lips, you've caught the whole show.
Well, I
There
don't
we
know
go.
because it's delayed.
Let me see.
I
Let
don't
me see
even
if
know.
Patty tried to tell me. Sometimes she will text, but I put it on Do Not Disturb. So, no, she did not try to tell me. Okay, good.
Right. So what I'll do is I'll do a post and let people know that the idiot forgot to plug in the
I
sound.
think I think I'm going to share this. I think we should download this and put it up.
I think
I
so.
mean, we can't put it on Anchor because there's not going to be enough audio.
There's no audio.
You know, we can certainly put it on. People will laugh at us. As a matter of fact,
Well,
in the editing, we can say no sound until whatever point.
Right.
And if they want to watch,
right. Yeah, we'll do something like that.
we've explained in
come
the
up with
comments.
something.
40
You know.
minutes in with no sound.
40 minutes,
That's
no
right.
sound. But you know what? You got to see our pretty faces for 40 minutes. So
That's right.
you know.
All right, well, let's talk about homegrown.
Homegrown is a idea that Joe and I have had where we can showcase some of the coolest students between South Lake High School, Lake Neola High School, and East Ridge High School. We're not necessarily looking for the guy with the GPA of 5.3. We're looking for that average student that's doing something special, whether it's community-based, or whether it's job-based, maybe you got a really cool job, maybe it's athletic-based, maybe it's in the arts, something cool. Come on the show, introduce yourself. You can, we'll give you some questions. I think we're going to do it in an evening. We'll have a student from each school come in. We'll interview them. We'll kind of whittle it down to a 2-minute interview process, and then we'll air it on the next show. And we'll have some swag for the students, and then we have a big surprise at the end of the year. But it's a great opportunity to get our young people learn about podcasting, learn about getting your voice heard. Obviously, you have to plug in first. But it'll be a really good opportunity for students to showcase their school, showcase themselves, showcase their talents, and have a little bit of fun and be on air with a local show. So
You know, we tend to find that this is one of the communities, people talk about underrepresented communities, and I usually find that our high school and to some degree our college students tend to be very underrepresented in this area. And it's really important that a lot of these kids, they may leave when they get out of school, but an awful lot of them come back.
yes,
And they are the kids really are the cops of the future, the nurses of the future, the podcasters of the future. You know, someday somebody's going to buy Ken's business so he can actually put his feet up. Of course, I don't know if he's ever going to want to do that. Maybe go surfing, you know.
Barefoot with a tropical drink and some live music at a tiki bar. It's kind of my.
That the goal or the fantasy?
That's the fantasy. I try to live it, you know, as much as I can.
Okay.
But, you know, it's nice. I like to just chill.
Yeah.
You know.
I guess this gets to be my biggest problem because I always run into, I don't want to wait till someday down the road. How Joe No started was I didn't want to wait till some magic, you know, milestone before I went out. It's easier for me to just start doing something.
Right.
And get some momentum and then decide there, is it time to move forward? Is it time to back off? Maybe this wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
Well, I think that like Lisa and I have talked about, you know, Brand Squad being in its infancy, and the great thing about it is we can do that anywhere.
Right.
You know, and if we take printing over and go that route as well, we can do that too. And it kind of frees us up
Right.
to be able to be anywhere and still work and still play, you know. But with real estate, it's a little tougher because if you have to show property or list property, sometimes you have to be where you're working.
And that's actually been the goal of someone. And what we'd like to impart upon students is there are options other than, you know, what you're doing. And we want to see what some of those kids are doing. Because, you know, those kids can teach us something. You know, I still remember one of the interviews I did on Joe No South Lake was 3 kids who stopped another kid from getting bullied.
Mm-hmm.
And I became aware of them because they had refused the Student of the Month award, which was going to be awarded by their school and their teachers, and they refused it because, and I mean, what they did was really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, help somebody
Sure.
who had less than they did, and just very humbly did it. And you know, the fact that they refused an award made them humble, which made me want to put them on the show.
Right.
You know, and they were just really cool, well-spoken kids. They weren't the 8.2 GPA guys,
Right.
and you know, they weren't the star athlete. They were just regular kids who did this really cool thing. And when it came down to, so why did you turn down the award? They all looked at me like I was insane, and they were like,
Sure.
"You're not supposed to get an award for doing the right thing."
Right.
And I just thought, you know, is that the caliber of teenagers we have? And the fact that they weren't the star athlete
Mm-hmm.
or, you know, the Rhodes Scholar, you
Sure.
know, said to me, yeah, that's coming from the quote unquote
Right.
regular kid. you
And
know.
those are the kids that we'll be looking for.
That's
Really,
right.
you know, the regular kid with a good story and you know, that's humble. You know.
So we'll find them. Look, if you have any suggestions, if you're a teacher, if you're a parent, if you're a coach, if you're a principal, let us know and help us make the connection so we can find these people. So if you have any ideas, let us know.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. Stick out your tongue. It'd be very nice. Hey, shameless plug. Hey, Ken Rose with Minuteman Press. If you need something printed, whether it's for marketing purposes or internal purposes, stop in, come see me. I'll take good care of you. If it goes on paper, here I am, 304 Mohawk, Minuteman Press.
Lisa?
Well, I have a company called Brand Squad. Come see us if you need anything from logo design. You know, some people have a logo and they want to redo it, rebrand themselves. Come see us about that. We can also sell you any kind of swag that you need for events that you may have. There's a lot of upcoming golf events. You can sell everything from the pop-up tents with your name and logo on it, golf towels,
Golf balls.
koozies, golf balls, you name it. If there's something that you can put your name on, we can probably make it for you. Come see us. We're located inside of Minuteman Press on 304 Mohawk.
And among all the other things that I do, I am first and foremost a realtor, professional realtor. I help people buy and sell homes. And actually what I do is when people are buying homes, I help them save money, and I help people selling homes save money. You know, one of my specialties is probate and divorce. You need to have, if you have a house to liquidate for probate or for divorce, you really need somebody who knows what the process is, because you can really jack up your transaction. You can jack up your divorce if that house is not sold correctly, if the person who is selling it, if the realtor doesn't know how to guide the title company and the sale and purchase of that home. Because let me tell you what, I've known people that come to me after the fact, and I'm like, well, I can't do anything now. You should have hired me when I asked you to. So probate's the same way. You can't just put a sign in the yard and sell a house that's in probate. You've got to know what the process is, because the court frowns on selling an asset before they sign off on it. So.
Well, that's good to know, man. And hey, I apologize again if you didn't get all the audio. Tune in next week because it's going to be just as great a show. We'll be at a new location. I can't thank Joe enough, and I apologize to Joe for screwing up our audio today.
Oh, you didn't screw it up. I saw that thing 3 times.
Yeah.
I should have asked the question.
That's a pretty cord there. Shouldn't the other part
Shouldn't
of
it be
get
plugged into something?
So, and our engineer got here late because of a dental issue. So next week we'll be here again. Same time, same place.
And if you're ever tuning in and you see there's an error, please feel free to reach out to one of us. I may have already texted my mom that she's going to be our eyes and ears to look out for this stuff.
You know what we should do? We should do a text screen with our numbers on it, so that if there is a major thing like that and people are watching, we're all getting a text.
Now, Mom was going to be on it, but she said she couldn't get it today for some reason, so I don't know.
All right.
Which is why we should put up a text screen, because if
Yes.
if our appointed eyes don't have it,
Well, I used to have the iPad up, so I need to start bringing that so
Right.
we can watch it.
but you wouldn't have heard that.
Yes, this is true. This is true.
But again, it is episode 3, so we're still in the learning process.
That's right.
But I want to thank you for joining us again. If you didn't join us
Oh,
live,
wait a minute. One more thing. Look, we haven't figured out what the contest is. Stay tuned. We're going to have a contest to name this podcast. Right now, it is Joe Knows with Ken Rose. And as much as I appreciate that,
And it
I'm not
rhymes.
sure that's fair to Ken. But if you guys like it, if you guys think it's the way to go, let us know. I mean, as long as you don't say 2 ugly old guys on radio.
or 2 guys and a mic. I don't know.
2 guys and a mic. I don't know.
Figure it out.
Hey, I like that.
They'll wonder which one of us is Mike.
Anyway, have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next time from Tiki Hut Studios. It's Ken Rose saying see ya.